What's going on, guys? Luke here from Mr. FBA UK, bringing you episode 3 as promised. This is going to be a really easy and simple video, all to do with customer feedback. You can see it up here. So I've got 114 ratings and over 4.8 stars, and I'm going to talk to you about how and why customer feedback is really important, not just to get, but to watch. So a lot of people say with customer feedback, let's just drill into it anyway so you can have a look, is to people that are new say, oh, how do I get customer feedback? But it doesn't matter. You don't really need it for online arbitrage. Okay, so you'll get them eventually, but you just don't need to worry about them at the beginning. And as long as you're doing the right thing, just follow it through. So you might get returns, and if you do get a return and you see something to pop up here, just sort of maybe even action it if you've done something wrong, or figure out. So you can see here 30 days, lifetime, so on and so on. So I actually have got negative feedback. So I've had 2. One was because it was a steel book, which is like a metal case DVD. So it has like a metal case, fancy case, but they're not sealed, not all of them. So the discs are obviously exposed when you open. So when you open it, there's obviously a disc there, but there's no sort of like almost like a seal of approval from the manufacturer to say it's not been opened. And it was saying basically it's open. The guy said it was opened, but it comes opened. So Amazon said if it is what he's saying, then they can't delete it, that sort of thing, which is a bit annoying. So I'm hoping after not that long these are going to drop off. I think that's going to drop off maybe in 3 months, 4 months. So yeah. So we can have a look here, and I'll explain what it is. So you might not, because the feedback's sort of in the bottom left-hand side of the Seller Central, it's a bit difficult to figure out. It's a bit difficult to see sometimes. So you don't really pay attention to it. And I've seen that it's really, and that will affect your buy box. So you need, so I'm probably getting affected just a tiny bit because I have a 4.8 rating, but I still got a 5-star. I'm not really entirely sure, but if that was 5-star, I reckon I'd have a little bit more of a buy box. So that is an issue. Obviously, the lower this is, the less buy box you'll get, which is obviously, of course, going to lower your sales. So you can see here, I've got these removed. So it was a 1-star rating here on the 12th, and it says my order was not delivered, and I don't know why. I've been told I would get a refund, and that's all Amazon. Everything's Amazon. You know, as soon as it's left you and it's there. Anything not relating to something you've done, the product that you've done. So maybe a product that's wrong, or maybe it's not. It's slightly different version. Those are the two. Well, slightly different version is usually the most common reason that it will be your fault. But you can see here, nothing to do with me. Amazon will ship it. Amazon will refund them. Amazon will do everything. So all you got to do is go to actions here, and you'll see there's a little. Well, you can't see it, but there's a box here. And it will be literally all I've done the last 2 times is clicked it, and within like 3 seconds it's come up with this message, and then all it does is refresh the page, and it's automatically just crossed through. But if you got any problems, so before I used to click contact customer services. I used to go up to the help in the top right hand side of the screen and literally just so I'd then go to copy the order. To say, can you please, I believe this needs to be sort of written off or deleted. Copy that into them. They'll then escalate it, and normally it's all done, all good and done. So another one here. Parcel came empty. Seller sent 2 bottles of shampoo and conditioner. Basically, there was nothing in the box or the parcel because it had been ripped open. It's obviously fallen out, or someone had taken it. Same thing. Nothing to do with me. Cross through. And obviously, you can see here 4s are fine. I normally just leave 4s. And leave 5s. 3s are neutral, and I would actually try to get rid of a 3. So another one here. This was the gift. It arrived with a postage label stuck to the box. Nothing to do with you. But if you don't actually pay attention and action these, even though you can easily just get them written off, you are putting yourself not only lowering your buy box, but actually potentially changing your order defects. So if you get, basically what happens is if you get a negative, it actually creates a sort of in your reports here, orders with defects. So if we get a performance over time, you don't want your order defect rate to be over 1% because it puts your account at risk of getting suspended. So literally, you can see here, this is when I've had my, so that was my, these are when I've had my 2 negative feedbacks actually. So I've had it in October and December. Okay, that's a bit annoying, December. So that means basically 1st of July, I say, I'm going to have clean. These are obviously the number of sales here. Sorry, in this total order column. But yeah, I'll have a clean slate then. And obviously you can find your order defect rate by going to performance. Just click performance, and it will appear here. So you want to make sure this doesn't go above, see, under 1% order defect rate, and then negative feedback counts as a defect rate. Counts as 1 out of X. So here I've got, in the last 60 days, 1,834 orders. Now, obviously 1 out of that would not be 1%, it would be basically nothing. But you've got to be careful that if you're a new seller, obviously you might only sell 30 items. You know, that 1 starts to become a lot more of a percentage within your orders in the last 60 days. So you've got to be careful. And another one thing to remember is that if you start doing seller fulfilled, so I sent like 5 items seller fulfilled because I was testing it, basically, me wrapping it up and sending it. But the problem is that if I got that one of those items as a defect, as a negative feedback for not delivered, because when you start doing merchant fulfilled, obviously delivery is then within your control, so you start getting, maybe it's late, maybe it's not delivered, maybe the product's wrong, maybe the product is damaged, like so many more variables come into play, rather than it's something from Amazon. So if I've got a 1 out of those 5 order defect rate, suddenly that's 20% of my 5, because it doesn't come under the fulfilled by Amazon section, it will come under the seller fulfilled. So I'll actually have 20% order defect rate, which will then probably suspend my account because I've not sent. I'm just testing it. You know, I'm sending 5, 10. So you got to be careful that maybe you wanted to try merchant fulfilled like 10 items, but you got, luckily, obviously nothing happened to me. But you got to remember that that will then come into play there if you get any negative feedback. So yeah, that is literally as much as the video will be, because even though you might overlook some of those aspects, there's like 3 points maybe that I've raised which are quite important to know, which you'd probably just look over because it's probably nothing that you think is nothing to worry about, and yeah, feedback, I'll just check it here and there. But actually, by not checking something maybe a bit more, maybe you just need to check it a little bit more, and that will save you a lot of hassle down the line. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Just, it's just, even for beginners, it's more for beginners, I'd say, but it's also for advanced, in the sense that you might overlook something when you're more advanced because you've done it before. You should never overlook anything if it's going to potentially suspend your account. So that's it. So yeah, smash the thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and be available for episode 4, which will be tomorrow. And hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks. Bye.